Outlast DFS University, March 18th. We got 100 plays today. Going into the weekend, everybody know the weekend's tough, rough. If you're new to Prize Picks or Outlast DFS, click the link in the description. Also, for Outlast, we got a code PPU. Get your first deposit matched up to $200. Also, we have an extra $25 referral fee that will be given to you by using the extra referral code. And click apply on both codes to apply them. Start off with $20. They'll give you a total of $65. We got Luka over 7.5 assists, over 8.5 rebounds. They got him at 9 on Outlast. So we got over 1.5 steals for Gary Trent. DeAndre Ayton over 17.5 points. Vucevic over 18.5 points. 10.5 rebounds, 31.5 PRA. Devin Booker, 27.5 points, 5.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 37.5 PRA. DeMar DeRozan, 27.5 points, 37.5 PRA. Ayo Dosunmu, 16.5 PRA. James Harden, 23.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 39.5 PRA. We got Spencer Dinwiddie over 15.5 points, 23.5 PRA. Josh Hart, 17.5 points. KD, 30.5 points. That's Kevin Durant, 6.5 assists. Andre Drummond, 10.5 rebounds. Kevin Huerter, 20.5 PRA. DeAndre Hunter, 20.5 PRA. No John Collins, especially if Gallinari is out. Got to take the PRA over on both of those. We got Watford over 14.5 points. Have no idea who he is. His numbers just been matching up lately. We got Ja Morant over 27.5 points if he plays. Julius Randle over 24.5 points. Lauri Markkanen over 22.5 PRA. Caldwell Pope, 13.5 points. 18.5 PRA. RJ Barrett, 24.5 points. Mitchell Robinson, 8.5 points. 2.5 blocks and steals. 9 rebounds. We got Jokic over 24.5 points, 45.5 PRA. We got Darius Garland, 23.5 points. LeBron over 28.5 points, 8.5 rebounds. Monte Morris over 12.5 points. We got Russell Westbrook over 15.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 27.5 PRA. Siakam over 24.5 points. Van Vliet, 19.5 points, 29.5 PRA. Christian Wood, 18.5 points, 22.5 PRA for Bruce Brown. Also 6.5 rebounds. And Jaylen Brown, 5.5 rebounds. Kevin Porter Jr., 15.5 points. Jalen Green, over 23.5 PRA. Javonte Murray, we got 9.5 assists, 23.5 points. Jakob Poeltl over 8.5 rebounds. Herbert Jones over 11.5 rebounds. 11.5 points for Herbert Jones. We got Jackson Hayes over 11.5 points, over 18.5 PRA. Marcus Morris over 17.5 points. We got Robert Williams and Tom Lure over 10.5 points, over 21.5 PRA. That's 22 on Outlast, so we got him at 22.5 PRA. And we got Jason Tatum over 30.5 points. We got Ayo Dosunmu over 12.5 PA. We got Walker over 14.5 points. Robert Covington over 6.5 points. Rui Hachimura over 11.5 points. Tristan Thompson over 4.5 points, over 4.5 rebounds. Domantas Sabonis over 5.5 assists, over 23.5 PA, 34.5 PRA. Ayo Dosunmu again over 3.5 assists. We got Bruce Brown over 1.5 steals. Embiid, if he plays, over 11.5 rebounds. DeJounte Murray over 7.5 rebounds, over 31.5 PR, over 33.5 PA. We got Jokic over 38.5 PR, 32.5 PA. Embiid, if he plays, over 42.5 PR. LeBron over 37.5 PR. James Harden over 30.5 PR, 32.5 PA. Jason Tatum over 38.5 PR. Devin Booker over 31.5 PR, 32.5 PA. Vucevic, we got him over 29.5 PR. Westbrook over 21.5 PR. Robert Williams over 20.5 PR. Josh Hart over 24.5 PR. Andre Drummond over 21.5 PR. Mitchell Robinson over 17.5 PR. Kevin Durant over 37.5 PA. Darius Garland over 33.5 PA. Spencer Dinwiddie over 19.5 PA. Josh Hart again over 21.5 PA. Mike Conley over 21.5 PA. If you're new to Outlast, click the link in the description and check us out. Also use code PPU to get your first deposit matched up to $200, win up to 80 extra money. You got $5 turning into $400, $10 turning into $800, $25 turning into $2,000, $50 turning into $4 grand. So with that being said, that's 100 plays.